Hello, hockey fans. The Minnesota Hockey Connection is on the air. We're on the air for the next half hour. I'm Kenny Gallagher along with Jerry Burrow, and today we have a very special guest, head hockey coach of Duluth Denfeld, Dale Jago. Dale, welcome to the program.
Thank you very much for having me again. Yeah.
2 years now.
Yeah, 2 years now, Kenny.
Yeah. So, Denfeld, 11-8-3 the season. Boy, you guys came out of the chute 4-0-1, and team's done well, man.
Yeah, we've come a long way in the last couple of years here. It's we got a really good group of athletes right now that we have a good hockey team. It's yeah, it's been a good year. That we dropped a couple along the way that we might have should have had, but for the most part, we've been pretty consistent and
now maybe
competitive again.
One of those that you should have had might have been that 2-1 East game. Boy, would it have been nice for Denfeld to get that win, huh?
Well, it kind of would have put us back on the map, but the best thing was that they thumped us 13-0 the year before, and so it was nice to see take some strides. I'm not going to say we're a better hockey team than East. I mean, they still put 59 shots on us, but our kids stayed with it. We got good goaltending. We stayed within our system. They did what we asked them to do, and we took them to overtime. It's the best hockey atmosphere I've seen in Duluth since I've been back since 2004.
Well, Jerry, that's the key to, I think, successful programs is paying attention to the coach, paying attention to what the coaches are teaching, preaching, and what have you. So you've got them on board. They're paying attention.
And I think Denfeld kids, they know every East kid. They grew up. They're friends. They circle that game on the map. They're playing against their friends that they grew up with playing against their whole life. And so it's a bigger game than most people think. And I think in the beginning of the year, the game that really opened probably the coach's eyes and the players' eyes was that comeback victory over Greenway. And I think that opened your eyes that, hey, we can be a pretty good team here.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to correct you there because we were leading the game the whole time.
They came back.
They came back. But we ended up getting a overtime winner in Greenway. And that was, again, great goaltending, but kids staying within the system and actually believing that they could win. And it did help propel our season forward. But again, at Matamidi, we were down 5-2, and we were all over them, and our kids came back, and we came back all the way back. So it was fantastic. And getting to your point about the kids, with being friends with these kids out east, Ricky Lyle has played 6 years with a lot of our guys, whether it be on these, on all-star teams or summer teams or whatever. And I mean, he's one of our biggest fans, wanted to go all the way. So it's
right,
and we root for them just the same. But I'm so happy that Mike extends that olive branch out there for us to still compete. He doesn't have to play us, but I think he knows it was one time a great rivalry, and hopefully we can get back to that again. But it's great for enrollment and for East and Denfeld hockey.
Well, it's the last of the public schools here in Duluth, Denfeld and East. Of course, Marshall being a private school, but 11-8-3. You've got 3 games left in the regular season. You're going to host Hibbing. Tonight?
Tonight, yeah.
And then you've got a game at Eveleth and Marshall up at Mars. You want to finish strong?
Well, tonight and tomorrow night are pretty imperative for our seeding. So I think if we get tonight and tomorrow night, we're number 2 in our section for sure, behind.
I think if you get Eveleth, I think you'll get the number 2 seeding.
Yeah.
I just don't know where some of these coaches will put Greenway. It's kind of funny they're under 500, but I can see them putting them 3.
Well, within our section, head to head, they're good. They're definitely
right.
Right. The reason if we get the next 2 that we're ahead of them is because they go head to head. So head to head, but Greenway's played a tough schedule.
Right.
It's
and that helps a team too.
Well, sure it does. That's good for their program as well. Grant wanted to put together a tough schedule, so
Well, I don't know if you'd call your schedule tough, but looking at this, is this a tougher schedule than in the past, or have you done anything this year that you've done differently with this schedule?
Well, we picked up a few AA teams, and then we picked up a AA team for our tournament. So, yeah, our schedule's been we're getting there. We're baby steps towards little tougher competitions and stuff. But it's just like when we played in our Christmas tournament. We got Irondale first game, and everybody's like, "Why would you put us against Irondale right away?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't want to play fluff. I want to play teams that are going to make us better and see where we're at, and then we can make adjustments off of that."
You got to win 3-2.
Yeah, and then we lost to Mankato, which was in overtime again. We've had 9 overtime games this year.
9 overtime games.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I think the 2 best games of the year is when just a couple of weeks ago, you went on the road up to through Deep River Falls on Friday night and War Road. These are top 10 teams right now. And you tied, I mean, you didn't win any game, but you tied both of them. So that shows you that, hey.
Well, I mean, those are 2 great hockey games, especially for our teams. Not only did we compete, but our special teams, in particular, our penalty killing was fantastic. I'm not sure if I'm going to make that trip anymore. If the only reason we go up there is for them to practice their power plays. The officiating in both games was suspect at best. But yeah, we tied Thief River 2-2, and then the next night we were up 2-0 with 4:26 to go, and we got one from the point, and then we made a mistake in the last 30 seconds, but they scored with 11 seconds left. But like again, our team competed. We were in, we played well, and we had a couple guys that weren't in the lineup too. So.
Yeah. When are the seedings?
This week, this
Wednesday or Thursday?
Friday, I think.
Friday,
okay.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So when's your first playoff game? The 19th, Tuesday?
Yeah.
So how's the Heritage Center if you're going to be a home team? Because East will play that night too. Do they have a doubleheader or what?
I'm not sure what the schedule's playing out right now, but I'm sure that they'll be the late game. We'll be.
They'll have a doubleheader.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be good for fans then.
Yeah, it'd be great.
Yeah. Right. Mm-hmm. So who are some of the players that are leading this team this year for you guys?
Well, our seniors are our cornerstone of our hockey team, of course. Our captain, Jake Eskel, is having for him, he thinks it's an off year, but the kid comes to work every night and plays really hard. Budaslavich is leading our team in scoring. DeCaro's up there as far as scoring. Shikes plays about 35 minutes a game.
He's up there at that
There's
point.
been 3 overtime games where he's never been off the ice.
Wow.
So we got good goaltending. We got a really good effort out of Griffin Lahed, our 11th grader. He's got 24 goals. And we got Dominic Kloss back, who's the big football player in town here for the Denfeld Hunters. And Logan Jasper, he came back to play this year. He sat out a year last year as well, and he's a D1 baseball recruit. So we got athletes that are coming back that weren't playing, and we got some good hockey players that are learning, has made some great strides and really learned how to compete and win this year.
Well, the games I seen your goaltending was really good. And I think, I mean, if you take away 3 games this year, you're in every game.
Yeah. Well, Sean East, he's right now, he's going to be, it wouldn't surprise me if he's in the Elite League this summer. But again, he's an 11th grader, or you guys call them juniors, I guess. And then we got Jacob Snyder, who's a 10th grader, and he got the win against Greenway. And you know, there's been a handful of games where we got pounded on Saturday against Holy Family, but our hockey team really wasn't ready to play. That was at Mariucci, and not that we're
big sheet. Huh?
Yeah, we're not very good on that an ocean that size, but it wasn't a matter of goaltending. It was a matter of
your team didn't show up.
Yeah, there was no effort. So, but yeah, you're right.
Was Holy Family playing good, or were you guys playing bad? Do you think?
No, we were playing.
Okay.
We were playing bad.
Okay.
I mean, again, it's on that big sheet of ice.
Right.
But if you put us at Heritage Center with some with some compete level, I think it's a
How did that game
4-1
become
hockey
at
game.
Mariucci? Is that Holy Family trying to play there in case they're in the finals, or you think?
Yeah,
Or-
well, that's
okay.
exactly, yeah.
Okay.
But we were short a game and they were short a game, so
Okay. Okay.
in their rink, I think it would have been a little bit
Yeah.
better for us to play.
Right.
But hey, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And the reason I scheduled the game is when are our kids ever going to get to play at Mariucci? So
Yeah.
they got that one under their belt, and it was fun.
If you've just joined us, head hockey coach at Duluth Denfeld, Dale Jago, who hails from Reston, Manitoba. Other than yourself, who were some of the great hockey players out of Reston?
Your dad. No.
There's,
Uncles,
no,
dad.
my brothers all played. My brothers were okay hockey players.
yeah.
A couple of my cousins were good, but
Now, you played 14 years pro overseas?
yeah, I was overseas for 14
Okay.
years. Yeah, so 5 different countries. But I ended up I left my hometown at 15 to go to boarding school in
Play
Saskatchewan.
junior hockey?
Yeah, we were midget AAA. It was
Okay.
called back then.
Okay.
But,
And then you came to UMD, 86 through 1990.
Yep.
Some of the years there, who were you paired up with during some of the times you were there? Some of the teammates that...
well, funny enough, every year after my freshman year, I think I played with a freshman. But you know, Guy Goslin was a senior
Okay.
then. Normie McIver had just graduated, so they needed somebody to come in and try and replace him. Little did I know that I wasn't the guy.
Did you know of him and his...
Yeah.
Okay.
When we actually came down when I was in high school at Notre Dame, we came down and we played Cloquet. We came down on a road trip that. So we played Cloquet, and then we played UMD freshmen and sophomores. Then we went down to the cities and played Hill Murray, and then we played the University of Minnesota's JV team.
Oh, geez.
And then we went back up to Hibbing, played Hibbing Community College when they still had a program.
How
And
did
then-
you do against those teams? You remember?
Yeah, I do. Cloquet came out running around a little bit, so we were a big team and we had some big tough farmers. So I think that was 8-0 or 8-1, and
Oh,
then
geez.
4-2 against UMD freshmen and sophomores,
Nice.
3-2 against Steve Rollick, and
Oh, yeah.
that state tournament team we won 3-2, and then we lost 8-6 to.
Was Rollick yelling on the bench then?
No, he was not.
He was
But there was
quiet?
there was these Quinlan guys that were really good hockey players. I think
What was the 8-6 game?
8-6 against the U's JV team. And
Oh,
then, and then
okay,
we went
okay.
up to Hibbing and we pounded them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, is that Notre Dame?
Notre Dame Hounds.
Is
Yeah.
that the Greyhounds?
No, just the Hounds.
Hounds? Oh, that's right. I see.
It was the first Hounds team that was out there.
So Mike Serdich was your head coach at UMD. How much of what Mike taught you or just things you learned during your time there do you carry with you today? Or
You know, I probably use some of it. It's like when I was at Notre Dame, we had coaches that were offered, year after year, they were offered contracts in the National Hockey League, NHL for NHL teams, but they had a good thing going at Notre Dame there. But yeah, I mean, you take a little bit from everybody.
Yeah.
I had some good coaches in Europe that were real good coaches, and I had some real bad coaches. So you learn from everyone. But again, it's you're dealing with kids, and it's different than when you have a Division I athlete or a pro athlete. Then you're dealing with 15 to.
how did you make your
18-year-olds.
way to Duluth, to UMD? Who recruited you?
Well, our team won the national championship that year up there, so there was
A lot of eyes on you.
there was
too.
always
A lot of
scouts.
recruiters.
There was more scouts at our practices than that's who came to watch our practices, and there was a lot of scouts at our games all the time. But Glenn Kulik was the one that recruited me. But Serdich saw me down here when I was
Okay, so he knew about you.
yeah, when we played Cloquet and
All
UMD
right.
and stuff.
Well, I'm so glad you could make it down to Duluth and spend some time here, and your career brought you overseas, and you remain in Duluth, and now you're coaching Denfeld. How much satisfaction do you get, just kind of teaching the game still? These kids are still learning, obviously, they're high school, and, you want them to succeed. You never know where some of these kids are going to go, so there's got to be some satisfaction, maybe even desire to make them better than they are. And
Well, that's the satisfaction and frustration go hand in hand in this game. But the best thing about coach, I love working with kids. I don't care if they're mites or whatever, but I love working with kids, and the best part about it is trying to get a kid to realize how good they can be, or getting a group of kids to overachieve or to believe in what you're bringing, and once you see a group like that, and we've seen it this year, that has that belief that they can beat anybody. That's the best part about it. I go home and sleep well after those games, but there's also games where you go home and
Right.
I asked our team the other day there, I don't even know who that hockey team is in the room between the first and second, but it's just, it goes like that. But hey, that's their kids. They got to learn from it, and so yeah.
Some coaches are hands-on with their youth teams, the high school coaches. And are you?
Well, I wish I could be a little more, to be honest.
But you do a little.
Yeah, well, I certainly go to watch games and stuff, but I don't want to interfere too much. If they're
doing good.
I told our coaches we had a meeting about them 6 weeks ago, and I said that's the open door policy. If you want to ask me anything or need me to come and do anything or attend anything, but I pretty much leave it up to them. I got a full-time job. I'm a pretty busy guy, and I got wife and 2 kids at home, so it's.
Oh, geez.
But this Denfeld Bantam A team is number 2 in the state rankings.
Yeah.
Well, that was going to be
a very good team.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of these kids are going to be coming up to high school next year. Will you talk to them like in the spring and tell them what they have to do to get ready to play high school hockey, or will you just let it be and wait until high school starts? Or
No, I'll talk to them. I'm pretty close with that group. A lot of those kids have been in my development camps for the last 4 or 5 years. Couple of the twins they're my next door neighbors.
Oh, really?
So I've been dealing with those
You
guys.
got a leash on them so they don't go in, right?
I've been dealing with those 2 little guys for a long time. But I coached their older brother too at Marshall, and in Bantams. But no, I'm pretty close with them. But the one thing that's making that group really special is they are hockey fanatics. They watch hockey. They talk.
They're rink rats.
Oh,
That's good.
But they watch NHL. They watch college.
They know
hockey.
everything.
Yeah, they do.
Who's coaching the team?
Tim Kleiman, and then Max Holm is helping out. Jim Kidd. That's who's running that show. And then one of the Paul boys that played at Marshall's a goaltending coach, so he comes and helps. Yeah.
Willie?
Yes, I think it is Willie.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Yeah.
I get them mixed up all
So
the time.
how many of these kids will probably play high school the next year? Would you say most of them?
I think there's 1 or 2 that might be going up the hill to
Really?
another program. I don't know if they're second years, those ones, but a lot of them will be involved in our varsity and JV team. We're losing 9 seniors, so.
Yeah, because a lot of these kids, they've been together for their whole life.
Yeah.
I mean, so they don't want to leave each other.
So
that's good.
And they ain't going to leave Denfeld. They're all about playing for.
And that basically has never happened in the last 15 years.
No, we've lost a lot. I mean, it's even that Jopie kid that is playing out, or juniors in the.
Yeah, right.
We lost. He was a
He's playing good too.
Yeah, he was a good high school player, but I heard he's having more success with that.
Not lately, yeah. He's on the first line now, one of the best penalty killers in the league. And
so I don't. Hopefully, we won't have too much leakage out of this group, and
we've got a good coaching staff. I would think that these kids, look at that part too, and realize that they can go to Denfeld and they can come there and be trained, be tutored, if you will, under good coaches.
Well, right. It's Brian Garris is a Division I guy with some. He's a defense. He runs a defense. He's got pro experience. Jake Johnson was a D1er. He's the all-time leading scorer at Denfeld, and has some pro experience in Europe as well. So it's our assistant coaches are bought in. Like there's not. I don't think you could task it the whole state with as much time as those guys put in.
Wow.
in
So
the-
they really have the passion
Oh, they
for
do,
this,
yeah,
for the kids.
yeah, and they're
That's
young.
good.
They're young enough.
Right.
They got all the programs that they used to follow and stuff, and they're with the times in the off ice training. You know, it's fantastic. I couldn't be happier with those two.
That's great.
Yeah.
Well, as an alum of UMD, I would imagine you keep somewhat of an eye on your alma mater, if you will. And what do you see on the Bulldogs? Can they repeat as champions?
Well, they
Dale?
can. Well, they can. If yeah, it just depends on, you know, in college hockey and high school hockey, one and done. It's anybody can beat anybody. That's the
Right.
problem.
One game.
It'll be depends who they get in the regionals and stuff, and who's playing well at the time. And of course, it's always goaltending. But if you look at if you look at the Bulldogs' back end, it's they got a nice group of defensemen there that you mix that with some goaltending, they can go a long way.
Right.
Well, you know, and there's been some luck on this team. If you look at the game, I think, was it Harvard that got them to the championship game? My goodness, Harvard was in the end in the final closing moments, hitting posts, missing open nets, and that's part of the game.
It's part of it, yeah. But
you know, it's got to be thrilling, though, for you as an alum. You know, we're fans. We grew up with the team here, and you know, we're just so excited when they were able to do this. And now here they are, two-time champs, and one of the best programs in the nation, really.
well, that's what winning does, right? It attracts.
Right.
It brings the cream to the top, and
Right.
that's what happens when you win. You get the pick of the litter kind of thing. So it's nice to see.
Dale Jago, head coach, Duluth Denfeld. The final 3 games of the season. Be nice to win out.
Yeah, I hopefully, yeah. It's like I said, 2 big section games, and then the program where I helped with Brendan Flaherty and Billy Owens is the interim. I coach with Billy as well, so it's. I'd like to get that one too.
Yeah.
maybe.
How is your friend Brendan doing?
Well, he's had a tough road.
Right.
It's going to be a long road back, but hopes and prayers and.
Will he
everything
be at
like
the
that.
game Thursday, maybe?
I don't know if
Can
he will or not. I haven't.
Okay, so I'll
really
probably
spoke
come
with
up there and
Yeah.
see if I can catch him. Once in a while he comes to some of the games. you
Yeah,
know.
I hope he is. But yeah.
Well, I know you're going to join us in the Minnesota Hockey Connection and giving our thoughts and prayers to your former Bulldog defense man, Hobie Baker, Tommy Curvers. Oh man, shocking news to me.
Yeah,
This guy is in better shape than most 25-year-old. He eats like a health nut.
Oh yeah. It's kind of shook the hockey world.
Yeah, he knows
I don't know
everything.
if you've ever met Tom.
All the time
TK,
at the Wild.
He is the greatest guy in the world. When you talk to him, you think that you're the only person in the room. And he's real sincere,
Right.
and real clean living and healthy and stuff. And to see this, him have to go through this.
Tommy Curver's diagnosed with lung cancer. Was it kind of a rare form of lung cancer, I think, or something that?
I'm not sure
Okay,
on that.
all right.
But, great friends with Norm McIver. Both of those guys over the years have always been at the Wild games up in the press box. And this year, Tommy's the assistant GM. And I sit right almost the closest person to the GM box. And most of those guys you hear a lot of words you don't want your kids to be.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But Tommy, you never hear anything like that from Tommy. He's the most meek, quiet person.
He's the is he the GM for the Iowa Wild as well?
Well, yeah, he does
He's the head
most
GM
of the work.
now. Yeah.
But it's sad news, and I know he's going to beat this. He's got a lot of support, and go Tommy and fight this. And we want you to be around a long time and doing hockey stuff.
Sure.
That's for sure.
Okay, final thoughts. Duluth Denfeld. I don't know, you guys are going in the right direction. Again, you jumped out to a 4-0-1 start, 11-8-3. There's 9 overtime games. My goodness.
Yeah, and we still they're kind of fun though. It's and our kids. Once we go into overtime, there's no sitting back. They think that they can win. So it's really helped us. I mean, we've won, like, I would have to say 4 or 5 of them. You know, but that's the difference between having a great year and learning how to win and believing you can win, or losing them and tanking and saying, "Oh boy, not this again."
Yeah.
So as things get tighter down the road here at the most important time of the year, we might have an overtime game with Greenway. We might have an overtime game with the other team that's up the hill. So who knows?
Yeah. Let's talk Wild hockey real briefly. We lost our captain, Mikko Koivu. The team also suffered a big loss when defenseman Dumba went down. Can a team like this rebound? Can they make it to the playoffs? This is not good.
Do you want me to answer that?
Well, yeah, Coach. You're kind of the guest here.
Do I think that they
Jerry and I have talked about it enough, so it's your turn.
Do I think that they can rebound from it?
That's tough.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I could see if they had somebody to plug it. Well, and they do have guys to plug in there, but they haven't been playing well. As in the games that I watched, the most notable game that I watched was against Edmonton, and
It was sad
that they were not good. So, hopefully they'll prove us wrong and get to the playoffs and stuff. But as right now, they're not playing well at all.
And there's teams below them are playing real good right now, like St. Louis, and even Chicago's playing a lot better.
Oh, I saw something yesterday. I think it was. They showed the bottom 8 teams in the Western Conference, and there's like 5 points from 8 to the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough road to do it, but hey, anything's possible, and the goalie can get hot.
Well, yeah, but he's going to need to be real hot.
All right.
Well, we've come to the end of the program. Minnesota Hockey Connection. You can find us online, minnesotahockeyconnection.com. Find our YouTube channel. We're on YouTube, Minnesota Hockey Connection. Also our Facebook page. Like us on Facebook, and we'll like you back. We want to thank the staff at PACT-TV, where this program is produced, and City Hall in downtown Duluth. And we want to thank head coach Dale Jago, head coach of Duluth Denfeld, for sitting in with us for this half hour, talking hockey. It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been fun. Thank you very much for having me.
Final thoughts, Jer?
Go Hunters.
Well, I just hope the Hunter program build, and get more players. You need more numbers. So kids, put your skates on and get out to the rink, and Mr. Jago will find you.
Absolutely. Be more than happy to work with you.
Well, with that, we're going to say goodbye. We'll be back next week to drop the puck. We'll see you then.